For the longest time, the big story around AI was all about full automation. The idea that eventually machines would just handle everything, leaving us humans to, well, who knows? But as we're seeing now in 2025, a much more interesting and honestly, a much more powerful idea is taking over. Turns out the real goal of AI isn't to replace us, it's to partner with us. Today, we're diving into the concept that makes this incredible partnership possible: human in the loop.
So how are we going to map this all out? Well, first, we'll talk about why that old dream of full automation is basically a myth. Then we'll get into the solution, human in the loop, or HILT, and I'll break down how it actually works. After that, we'll look at some mind-blowing real-world examples happening right now, before we wrap up by looking at what this all means for our augmented future together.
Okay, so let's start with the big problem. See, the original dream was to build this perfect, closed system. You train an AI model, you set it loose in the world, and you just expect it to work flawlessly, on its own. Forever. The thing is, that's just not how the real world works. Not even close. And that realization has sparked this huge shift in how we even think about AI. We're moving away from this idea of artificial intelligence, trying to build a machine that perfectly copies a human brain, and we're moving towards augmented intelligence, where the goal is way more exciting: building a machine that makes humans smarter, faster, and better. Because let's be honest, the real world is just messy. It's full of unpredictable stuff. Statisticians have a term for this. They call it the long tail. So think about it like this. Most of what an AI sees is common. It's predictable. That's the head of the data. But then there's this long, long tail of just weird, totally unexpected edge cases that the AI has never, ever seen before. These are the curveballs that don't fit the neat patterns. Right, so a self-driving car, it's probably seen millions of pictures of traffic cones. It knows what a traffic cone is. But what on earth does it do when it rolls up to an intersection and sees this? A person in a full horse costume directing traffic. I mean, come on. A human driver gets it instantly. We understand the context, the absurdity, all of it. But a fully automated system, it might just freeze. Or worse, make a really, really bad call. And these are the edge cases that show us the absolute limits of full automation. And that's exactly where the human-in-the-loop model, or HITL, comes into play. Now, this isn't just some patch or a quick fix. No, it's a totally different philosophy for how we build AI systems. It actually takes that problem, the messy edge cases, and turns it into an opportunity for the AI to get smarter. So, what is a human-in-the-loop system? At its core, it's a system that's designed from the ground up to combine human and machine intelligence. This is not a one-way street where the AI does all the work and a person just signs off on it. It's a true partnership. The AI does the heavy lifting, all the number crunching, and the human expert steps in for the really tricky parts. And here's the magic. Every single time that human helps out, the system learns from it. It creates this amazing feedback loop of constant improvement. Okay, here's probably the best way to think about this whole partnership. The AI is like a brilliant intern. I mean, unbelievably fast, can read a million documents in a second, and spots patterns no human ever could. But it has zero real-world experience. It lacks common sense. That's where the human comes in, as the seasoned manager. The manager guides the intern, corrects their mistakes, and teaches them how to handle all the nuance and weirdness of the real world. That right there, that's the heart of HITL. So how does this manager-intern partnership actually function? Well, it's not just a human randomly checking the AI's homework. The whole collaboration is really structured, and it happens in 3 distinct phases. You can think of them as collaborative loops. It all happens in stages. First up, you've got the training loop. This is where humans teach the AI the absolute basics by labeling data. Telling it, this is a cat, this is a stop sign. Then comes the tuning loop. Here, the humans act like quality control. They analyze the AI's mistakes and help it fine-tune its understanding. And finally, you get to the most critical part, the execution loop. This is when the system is live, out in the real world. If the AI runs into a problem it just can't solve, like our friend in the horse costume, it flags it for a human to handle right then and there. And that solution, it gets fed right back into the system as a brand new lesson, making the AI smarter for the next time around. Now, I know this might all sound a little bit theoretical, but I promise you it's not. This is already transforming some of the most complex industries on the planet. So let's look at 3 incredible case studies from 2025 where this human-AI team-up is having a massive impact. First up, let's talk about autonomous driving. I mean, this is the ultimate high-stakes environment, right? The number of possible edge cases on the road is practically infinite.
From bizarre road construction to unpredictable pedestrians, getting this right is literally a matter of life and death. And what's happening here beautifully illustrates two totally different HITL strategies. So on one side, you've got a company like Waymo using remote assistance. In their model, the AI is doing 99% of the driving, but when it gets confused, a human supervisor sitting in a command center gives it a high-level strategic nudge, like, yep, it's safe to go around that weird obstacle. This is super scalable. One person can oversee a whole fleet of cars. Then, on the other side, you've got a company like They doing teledriving. This is basically a remote valet service. A human driver from miles away directly controls the car to drop it off for a customer. The human is in complete control, solving that tricky first and last mile problem. And this quote just nails it. In both of these models, the human expert is still absolutely essential. They aren't leaving the driver's seat, they're just moving it to a command center in the cloud, where their expertise can be scaled up across an entire fleet. It's a total game changer for what it even means to drive. Okay, let's go from the open road to the global supply chain. Just try to imagine finding a tiny, cleverly hidden package of illegal drugs among literally millions of perfectly normal parcels. It is the definition of a needle in a haystack problem, and it's what customs agents do every single day. So to fight this, Taiwan's government is pouring over 275 million new Taiwan dollars into an advanced HITL system between 2025 and 2028. Here's how it works. The AI scans all the shipping data and X-ray images, flagging anything suspicious with a kind of heat map. Then a veteran human agent takes a look, using their years of experience and intuition to make that final critical call. And you know what's really amazing about this system? How adaptable it is. The core technology, the AI and human working together, stays the same. But in 2025, they're focused on narcotics. Then by 2026, they can retune it to spot illegal e-cigarettes. 2027, counterfeit money. This human AI loop lets the system constantly evolve to fight whatever the newest threat is. And for our final case study, we're heading into medicine, where the stakes couldn't possibly be higher. A pathologist might spend their entire day staring through a microscope, trying to find just a few cancerous cells among millions of healthy ones. It's exhausting, it's subjective, and there's immense pressure to get it right. But now, companies like PathAI are using an HITL system to completely change the game. An AI pre-scans a digital slide of the tissue, and it highlights the most suspicious areas for the human pathologist to focus on. And the results? Well, this partnership can boost diagnostic efficiency by 15 to 30% and seriously cut down on the rate of misdiagnoses. The AI is the tireless assistant, but the doctor is the one who makes the life-saving decision. But this incredible partnership also raises a really tough practical question. It's sometimes called the double bind. Let's say the AI says it's cancer, but the doctor disagrees. If the doctor follows the AI and is wrong, they could be on the hook for overtreatment. But if they ignore the AI and are wrong, they're liable for malpractice. This is exactly why the AI can't just be a black box. It has to be explainable. It needs to show its work so the doctor can make a final decision that's informed and based on evidence they can trust. So all of these examples show us one thing pretty clearly. The future is all about collaboration. But making this human-AI partnership actually work means we have to design these systems with the human at the center, not just the algorithm. And there are really 4 key principles to doing this right. First, you have to give humans detailed feedback options, not just a simple yes or no button. Second, you have to minimize their cognitive load. Don't just bombard them with a million unnecessary alerts. Third, and this is crucial, you have to build trust through transparency and explainability, just like in that medical example. And finally, you have to use the humans in the loop to spot and fix biases in the data before the AI model can amplify them. And all of this leads to one final critical takeaway for all of us. Human in the loop isn't just some techie architecture, it's a strategic imperative. The winning organizations of the future aren't going to be the ones with the most powerful standalone AI. No, they're going to be the ones that absolutely master the art of this partnership, the ones who figure out how to perfectly fuse the incredible speed and scale of machine intelligence with the wisdom, intuition, and judgment that only human intelligence can bring.